I had a request to demonstrate how to make homemade sausage. Now, this is my mom's homemade sausage recipe. It was used whenever we butchered a hog, and we would make lots of pork. We would make pork in bulk. We would also make patties, and we would also make link sausages. However, due to the kitchen I have, I cannot demonstrate the old-fashioned way, but I will demonstrate a way you can make sausage in your home using modern methods. So, I have 1 pound of ground meat, and I have all the seasonings like she used to make. Now, I'm going to make the seasoning mix as if I were making 10 pounds of pork, but I'm going to store it in a container all together, and we're only going to use the amount that we would need for 1 pound of ground meat. Alright, let's get started. Like I said, we have 1 pound of ground meat. I do not have ground pork in here. I have ground turkey. You can use turkey, chicken, pork, whatever meat you like. Traditionally, pork is the one you use. However, we prefer ground chicken. So for the seasoning, if we were making 10 pounds, remember, we're going to cut this down. It would be 3 tablespoons salt. I use kosher salt because when you're doing home meat curing, kosher salt is sometimes the best option. 1/2 cup brown sugar. When I measure this, you pack the brown sugar in the measuring cup and then fluff it up a little bit for when you want to mix it. In my spice blend, I have 2½ tablespoons sage, 2 teaspoons black pepper, 2 teaspoons red pepper, or cayenne as some people call it. And I did not use the leafy kind of sage. I used the ground sage. If you use the leafy kind, I would like to know how it works. I've always used just ground in that. The only difference I do from my mom's recipe is I like to add the cracked red pepper flakes. I don't know if you can see them very well in there. And I like to add fennel seed to my sausage. However, for this recipe, to demonstrate to you, I am only going to use what my mom used. So let's get started with the mixing. And like I said, because we're not going to use everything in here, we're going to mix it up in a little storage container, so the next time I want to make sausage, all I have to do is take out the container and measure out the amount for the amount of sausage I'm making. I'll stir that together. And this would be the time I would add my fennel and my cracked red pepper if I was making it the way I tend to make it. And I may add that later for when I do my recipes. Now, when we talk about grinding meat, we used a device that you crank with a handle, put the meat down in a little auger, pushed it through the blades and ground it. And I will try to link below my video a source for them so you can see a picture of what it looks like. And also, if you're making the link sausage, you want a fruit press / sausage stuffer, which I will also link so you can look at a picture of it online as well. They were all made of cast iron, and I have no need for those in my kitchen in this current time. As you can see, it's just a standard spice blend. Now, when I did the math, the best I could tell is for 1 pound of ground meat, you want about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of the spice blend. You put that in there. The salt and sugar help preserve the meat. However, you want to keep this in the refrigerator when you're not using it, or fry it up right away. And it will store in a container like this for quite a while. Okay, we're going to mix that up. First, typical kitchen for me, I throw some out of the bowl. I'm going to mix a little bit of that with the spoon. But the best way to mix homemade sausage is with your hands. And because I don't like greasy hands, I am going to use gloves. I recommend doing this when you're handling raw meat, because if you got a cut on your hand or some other sort of injury, handling raw meats might not be the safest to do due to possible infection. Anyway, we get in there and we mix it up really good. Now, it did sound like a lot of red pepper, but I find the sausage recipe It's not spicy hot. It's just tastes like any other sausage you would buy. The good thing about homemade sausage, though, is when you're making it, you know what went into it and by how much, and whether you want to consume those particular spices and that much salt, or if you want to cut it back, you can cut back the salt. And to make patties, just want to roll a ball of meat and smash it down to a patty. And now if you're handling pork or turkey or chicken, various meats like that, you want to be sure when you cook it all the way through, that it is done, so you don't get any illness, foodborne illness. And that's all to it. And besides making the mess, I hope when you try it, you find it's a good recipe for your family. And I would like to know in comments below how you like the recipe. You have a good day, and thank you very much.